Now, from across the Tri-States, this is KHQA Sports.
It is the most anticipated, hotly contested, and perhaps most important boys basketball game to be played in Adams County this season, and it doesn't involve a single Gem City team. Rural basketball in this county, fashionably speaking, is the new black. And Liberty and Payson Seymour were pushing the trend tonight in a packed house at Mendon Unity, first night of the MVIT, and it was a good one. It started off with Liberty on a hot streak in this one. Austin Mass letting loose from three-point range. He was good, and then when he missed, there was Michael Mast on the offensive putback, an 8-2 run for Liberty early. Cody Hildebrand would try to silence Liberty with his own special back down, and he's really good at that move. Still, more from the Mass. Michael Mass hits the brakes, lets the Jets fly right by him, scores, extends Liberty's lead. But at the end of the first half, or first quarter, I should say, that's Lance Beulah giving his team its first lead at 15-12. Just as the first quarter ends, Michael Blewett, who had 23 points on the night, ties the score. Second quarter, though, all about Payson Seymour. Huge stanza, starts with Gage Klitz with a modified hook shot, and then this fella, Cody Hildebrand, the All-State candidate, going 1-on-2. You can't stop him. At this point, the kid was unguardable. Gage Klitz, he wasn't very guardable either, the big 6'5" fella, uncoiling. And then look at the defense here from Hunter Flessner. Wow, what a block. Payson Seymour in full range of its powers right there. Cody Hildebrand had 21 points in the first half. And again, nobody could stop him. Give and go with Klitz right here. Cody Hildebrand, a one-man gang. And how about one more for you? He finished with 28. This game turned into a blowout as Payson Seymour was up 17 at the half and never looked back. Payson Seymour gets bragging rights tonight over Liberty, 65-47. Don't be surprised if we see these teams lock horns again a couple of different times down the course of the season, maybe even in the postseason. Meanwhile, the premier game tonight, the early game, I should say, saw Southeastern blowing out Bushnell Prairie City in this one. Building upon a huge night from Shea Flessner, who had 33 points. It was a close game at the half, and then Jeffrey Stout looking good at the other end right there with the finish. Southeastern took what was a 2-point game at the half, blew it wide open right here behind Dexter Redenius, and Southeastern gets the big-time victory there, 63-39. On the scoreboard tonight, Quincy High School in the opening round at the Schnucks Collinsville Holiday Tournament, felled by a really good Chicago Marshall team, 56-41. The Blue Devils fall into the back draw. They will play tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, Quincy Notre Dame looking for win number 1 of the season, win number 1 of the Bob Sheffield area, taking on Downs Tri-Valley. How about Riley Walls looking to Austin Ritter, and Ritter was good from the baseline. Quincy Notre Dame starting to knock off some of the ice right here. Cade Walls driving the lane for the nifty lay-in as well. He is the danger with a great finish there as well. Tony Stella back healthy, feeding Johnny Ray for the nifty lay-in as well. Quincy Notre Dame building a little bit of momentum. The big story in this one, the Welpers, Ben Welper with a nice take coming up right here off the beautiful feed right there from Mr. Walls. Good stuff there. And then Tony Stella going to knock one around. It's going to end up caught in the hands of Ben Welper. But the story in this game, Barry Welper with a three-pointer as the buzzer goes off. QD with its first win of the season, 59-56, moving into the championship bracket against St. Joe Ogden tomorrow at 6 o'clock at the Shirk Center. Over at Carrollton, Griggsville a winner over Brussels, 63-48. Also on the night, Beardstown felled by Piasaw Southwestern. That score is reversed. Piasaw Southwestern a winner over Beardstown, 56-51. Your final there. Down at Waverly, took overtime, but third-seeded West Central hangs on to beat Pawnee 73-70, and it was Rout being felled by Edinburgh 58-52. Let us take you to the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. Not many teams from our area pushed into the winner's bracket, but four-seeded Macomb, boy, they got in emphatically. This game already a blowout when we got there, but look at Alec Drake knocking down the long three to cap that blowout. Huge night for the Bombers. They bounced back from that ugly loss last week to Liberty, get a huge win over Lewiston. Final count in this one was 52-26. Macomb moving on into the championship bracket against Canton. Earlier in the day, the only other local winner on our side of things, Camp Point Central taking on Illini Central. Early on, great defense from Jason Dormeyer. At the other end, Ryan Freiberg with the finish. Cold snap for the rest of the first half, however. This Cole Phillips and one. The only bucket, the only field goal Central scored for about 10 minutes as they trailed by 5 at the half. Third quarter, though, all about the Panthers. Great take right here from Tyler Hyman. He had 12 points in the night. Cole Phillips, again, another three-point play for this young fella. Great take for him. He had 12 points as well. And then Austin Cranberg, sorry, we screwed up his name at 6 o'clock. Old habits die hard. Cranberg with the and one as well. He had 12 points to lead his team to victory. 45-33 your final. Central on into the championship bracket as well. On the scoreboard today, I told you, a lot of ugly games for local teams. Illini West blown out by Metamora. Didn't get much prettier on the day for Pittsfield, or, as you can see right there, getting blown out by Eureka 55-18. Nor did it get much prettier for West Hancock, who had a cold third quarter and lost to Canton in highlights we showed you at 6. 53-38 your final. Brown County falls prey to Ethan Happ, who's headed to Wisconsin. Had a number of dunks tonight, nearly outscored Brown County himself with 38 points. Brown County fell tonight 61-39 your final there. On the girls' side, a big win today for Illini West. After West Hancock got a win to advance and take on Illini West in this one, the Chargers go to work on their Hancock County rivals in this ball game. Starts with Josie Finch knocking down the nice jumper, and then basically pandemonium would break loose offensively. Great offensive cleanup right here by Jenna Bryan. She's played really well this season. Great take for her. And then the irrepressible Aubrey Carlisle doing her thing right here. Beautiful take for her. Nobody's going to stop her. West Hancock hung around in this game, but it looked like they were playing on tired legs in the second game in 3 hours' time. Michaela Gronwald from the outside nails the jumper. Illini West into the championship bracket. They are the 3 seed, winning today 51-38. Other scores, as I told you, West Hancock with a win earlier in the day over Farmington behind Alexis Dooley to put them in that game against Illini West. Tough day for Macomb. The Lady Bombers could get nothing going right tonight. They were upset by Lewiston 79-51 was your final there. Mendon Unity blows out Jacksonville Route to advance 44-11. Unfortunately for the Lady Mustangs, they ran into a buzzsaw in West Central, who I believe is the 4 seed. West Central wins 52-30 in that ball game. Elsewhere in the docket, Brown County, a hard luck loser to Abingdon despite another monster night from Vanessa Markert right there. We've got Pittsfield knocking off Rushville Industry in a low-scoring affair, but Pittsfield is knocked into the back draw with a loss eventually to Pleasant Plains. That score was 49-20. Also on the docket, Liberty knocked off by Illini Bluffs 54-41. Triopia gets a win over Griggsville Perry 34-19, but ends up getting knocked out by South Fulton, or at least knocked into the consolation bracket by South Fulton. Final count in that one was 57-18. And one score back from Bloomington today. Great win for the Central girls as Central Southeastern knocks off Fairbury Prairie Central 43-38 to continue in the championship bracket. Busy day tomorrow as well. Not only basketball, but wrestling as well. We'll have it all for you on a loaded sports final.
All right, and we'll be right back.